This episode of Blacktop Banter is brought to you by Crafco, the world's leading manufacturer of packaged pavement preservation materials and equipment for the asphalt industry. Learn more at crafco.com. All right, Blacktop Banter is back, and we've somehow managed to keep podcasts coming through the summer months, even though we're out in the heat working and whatnot. I'm super excited about this one. We get asked from time to time, hey, can you have this person on? Can you have this company on? Can you have whatever on? Our guest today, we've been very excited to have. I want she agreed to join us because we know that it's been one that's been asked about a lot for us to have on the podcast. So today we have Alex, the Blacktopping Blondie, who am willing to guess you have probably seen on Instagram if you are in the asphalt space at all. She has 113,000 followers on Instagram. Big one. It is. It's a big number, Chris. It's a big number. So, Alex, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to everybody, and we'll go from there.
Well, as you guys know, I'm Alex. I guess Blacktopping Blondie. I ran Bowmeg, I ran Weilers, I ran Vogel, spray paver or just conventional paving. But obviously my ham. I love my ham roller.
That's what we see
I
you with
started on a
quite a
little
bit. We see you with the
butling.
ham. Yeah. We see you with that ham quite a bit on
Yep.
Instagram. That's your
Uh,
favorite.
I started on my butling and then I got promoted to a whacker. Okay, I didn't get promoted, but they got a whacker and I was so excited
Right.
to have power steering. And then yeah, I stopped doing driveway paving and then I started doing highway heavy and that's when I got on my ham.
Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about that. Like, what was the entry level spot for you to get into doing blacktopping and asphalt work? Like, most of the time, no matter who it is, you don't usually see you see a typical person running a paver or running a roller or doing
Hmm.
whatever. You do not fit that description. But when
No,
we scroll on your Instagram, we see you running this heavy equipment and whatnot. I'm guessing you didn't jump on the Weiler day one, but tell us about a little bit of the
no.
climb getting up to there.
I guess like my story, I don't have, everyone's like, oh, how'd you get into it? What's your cool story? I don't have a cool story, unfortunately. Back when I was, I think it was like 19, it was 19 or 20, I was dating somebody and he did asphalt and I moved in with him and had 8 wonderful roommates, in which every single one of them worked at the same paving company.
I
And
got you.
I was a house cleaner at the time. I had Mondays off, and I was cleaning for the boss of the company. I was like cleaning her office. And so I already knew her. I got asked to come help sweep a road
Yep.
after, the box room broke down. So like, hey, you want to like come help sweep the road? It's down the road from the house. I was like, okay, fine, some cash, cool. So I
Yep.
did that on my Monday off, and then the boss had texted me, and she was a woman, which is pretty cool. She was like, hey, if you ever want a job, there's an extra vest in the office. And I remember
Damn.
sitting down with my now ex, and he was like, do it. I had the work ethic. I was working 3 jobs at one time.
Yep.
And I was in college, and I was like, I would rather condense my hours to one place. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't have ever done it if, he wasn't okay with it, I guess. Working under somebody and
Yeah.
proving yourself and working in the industry is hard. And
For
he
sure.
was like, give it a shot, do it. That's kind of how I got started into it. And so, just like anybody else, I started with a shovel and a broom.
Yeah.
We didn't have obviously an operating box broom, and they were going from one paving crew to two.
Yep.
And so it was sweeping roads by hand, pushing out 20, 30 driveways a day, mostly
Dang.
commercial driveways, doing like big builders and stuff. And so, yeah, it was just sweeping, 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 carrying 5 gallon water buckets,
Yep.
chipping. We would chip like the edges of all the driveways, tamping,
Yep.
just doing essentially the bitch work of everything. And that's how I got started. And then, so that was basically my whole first year. And then I got thrown on the Bowmeg a couple times and I hated it. I hated it
That's what
so,
I was
not
gonna
the Bowmeg,
ask you.
the
Yeah.
Butling. I got thrown on the Butling and I hated it because it didn't have power steering.
Yeah, it's
And
tough.
I was, I'm 105 pounds. I pretty much have been. And trying to turn this roller
Oh,
on a
yeah.
taper that's, you got 25 feet there, impossible for little
Right.
me. I've actually seen a lot of the grown men on my crew put the roller off
Struggle.
the driveway.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Um,
I was gonna say it doesn't matter the poundage that you are. It's things a
oh,
struggle no
it's
matter
terrible.
what. Yeah.
Uh, I remember my boss had me come in on a Saturday. They were doing the parking lot and do like a test day of like, hey, is this something I wanted to do? And she
Yep.
had me on a roller the entire time. And I remember it wasn't my foreman, but it was like somebody else on the crew was like, hey, go fill up that roller. The hose is right there. Um, and it was a brand new bus garage. And so brand new concrete. I didn't think I could go on the concrete. Nobody told me to stay on the mat, okay? Nobody told me I can't drive off the mat. So
Right.
you see me on a roller, and I just go right off this fresh mat, completely
Oh,
screw up the edge, blow
girl.
it all out, and I'm in the toolies. And I remember looking over at my ex, and he's looking at me like, oh shit. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
the like paving foreman didn't notice, thank God, because he was really scary, but he was just looking at me like, what did she just do? And then um my
They
former
they
my
fix the edge.
coworker came over. Yeah, he came over and he just like hopped on the roller. He's like, okay, lesson learned, don't go off the mat. I was like, lesson learned for you. You didn't tell me I couldn't go off the mat.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
he's like taking this butling like down through like a swampy area. And thankfully he got it out, but oh, it was
My
terrible. I learned my
gosh.
lesson
Yeah,
though.
they're not light either.
Hmm.
I mean, even though they don't
No.
have all the bells and whistles, like, dude, that's a heavy roller, especially if you get it where it's not supposed to be. Um,
Oh,
so
terrible.
geographically, where were you paving? Like in the country? Where was that?
Minnesota. I have
Okay.
done almost all of my paving in Minnesota. I stick around. The company I started with was the north end of the Twin Cities. And
Okay.
then I've always just kind of stuck around that area. We did paving throughout all of the metro,
Yep.
doing new construction driveways. And then after I did that, I switched to a company up in like central Minnesota, I guess, like the St. Cloud area.
Yep.
If people on here know the area. So
Yep.
that company, we did more traveling. I do a lot of traveling. I went down to Iowa my very first week.
Oh
I
yeah.
switched when I switched. Yeah, my very first week was going down to Iowa with a bunch of men. I didn't know.
Yep.
I didn't know anybody. I just hopped in a work truck and drove like 6 hours down there. And again, once you start a new company, you're starting from the bottom again. And it was
For sure.
just grab that shovel and shovel, shovel, shovel. I was just throwing shovels of mix everywhere. And I remember my foreman,
Dang.
he's like, I'll give you one thing. He was like, you can shovel us. Like, I'll take it. Cause that's
Right.
about all. And I'm not trying to step on toes. Like, I wasn't
Right.
going into this company being like, you know what, I'm going to be an operator. Cause I
Yeah.
had worked my way up to that at the previous company. And it was like, all right, you're starting back down here because everyone else already has their positions. You're not going to just come in and step on toes. So it was, all
Yeah.
right, started from the bottom. But by the time I had left Iowa that week, I was essentially a roller operator and then worked my way up again.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Was the climb easier the second time because you knew already
It
that it was
it
possible for you to
wasn't.
do it, or was it harder because you didn't have the in?
It wasn't, and for those reasons. So when I
Okay.
worked at the driveway company, I had my ex and the support and
Yep.
all of my roommates, and so
Yep.
it was easier to learn and ask questions. Obviously, we butt heads quite a bit.
Yeah.
But being that my boss was a woman business owner and she had done it all, she was my biggest like push. She's like, you know what, you can
Oh
do
yeah.
this. Like, I remember when it came down to, okay, you're 21, time to get your CDL, and I was like, you're not going to see me in a dump truck. Nope,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely not. And my ex is like, don't worry about it. You don't need to get it. And my boss is like, yep, you're going to be in that dump truck and you're going to do it. If I
Yeah.
did it, you can do it. I was like, shit, okay, I guess I'm going to do this.
And
And I passed first time,
good.
everything. I
Congrats.
passed pre-trip, everything. Thank you. I actually studied, and I was one of
Yeah.
the first to actually pass first time because in Minnesota they make it really hard to get your CDL now. So yeah, that was super cool. And then just having all the people I was living with doing the job I was doing, it was so much easier to learn and just like you don't feel stupid jumping in equipment and
Right.
fucking up. Like it's like, all
Right. You're
right,
like,
you know
oh
what?
shit, we got
These
this
people are
right.
going to judge me.
Right.
Exactly. But then when I started at the new company, and it was kind of an older demographic of people there,
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot tougher. It was proving to everybody that,
You
I
could
don't
do
want to
it.
say it, but I'm not just a pretty face and that
Yep.
like I'm actually worth a damn and I can do this. And so it was, like I said, I grabbed that shovel. I grabbed that diesel can and I grabbed that shovel and I was nonstop shoveling. And
Yeah.
that's what it was. And then just kind of
But
proving
we
to
see
people that
we
I
see
can do
pictures
this.
of
And
you
then
on Weilers and whatnot. So I mean, you taking care of the entry level stuff and was not scared to jump on the pavers and not scared to jump on any of the machines and whatnot out there once you started going. Is that always how you've been, or was it just like, oh, I need to do this in order to move up the chain, or was it
I've
curiosity? That
just
stuff's
always done what I've been
intimidating.
asked to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
that stuff's
no, it
intimidating to some
was
people.
when I started running paver on my highway heavy crew, it was because the paver operator got fired.
Okay.
And everyone was just kind of like standing around with their thumb up their ass. I was like, okay, I guess I'll hop on here. And I just hopped on, and that's just what it was. I didn't run it like full time all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, I can do this. I've
Yeah.
done this. I
I
don't
can
want
hit
to
the
step on
straight
toes, but
poles. Yeah.
everyone's just
I
kind of, doing their
standing
thing.
around. Yeah. I can get the straight
And it's
poles.
like,
I can
yeah,
screw the peg up and down. Like, yeah, I can do this.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So the once you got like all that down and like you alluded to a minute ago, like I'm not just a pretty face. We start like if we follow you on Instagram at all, we start to see a trend in Alex really embodying the asphalt industry in a way that allowed you to create content that was specifically designed a certain way. Can you
Hmm.
talk to us a little bit here, especially before we go into a commercial break, about the other stream of income that has come from the asphalt industry? I think it's really unique. It's definitely
Hmm.
interesting. For my sake, some people say that I'm the like a unique character in the industry. I think you are as well in that regard. What I find really unique is the fact that you had a woman boss that encouraged you in the industry to keep doing more, keep doing more, and keep doing more. And you seem to have
Hmm.
found yourself there, and it comes through very prevalent in your other form of income. Can you hint to that a little bit
Hmm.
for us before we bust a commercial?
Um, yeah, it was something I never thought I would do. And then I was kind of at this crossroads in my life where I had moved back home and one I make more money, and I kept getting like messages and my message requests like, "Hey, do you have an OnlyFans? Do you do OnlyFans?" And I was like, "No." And then finally I was like, "Am I throwing money out the window here?
Right.
Like, should I be doing something different?" I
Yeah.
was like, I already got some pictures. Like, why not? I was already doing kind of some photo shoots. When I was younger, I did a lot of modeling, and I was like, maybe I have to give it a shot.
Yeah. Maybe there's something there.
And I did. I did it.
It
I
started
gave it
to,
a shot.
did it
And
start to, and did it start to take right away?
yeah, pretty much, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was shocked. I didn't think much of it. I was just like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I gave it a shot. But yeah, I kind of strategically, I had a photo shoot before I had posted my link in my bio or whatever. And um, I wanted to build up some pictures on my OnlyFans page before I like posted about it. And so
Right.
I have never, ever, ever wanted to post about my OnlyFans on my Blacktopping Blondie page. I think it's super obnoxious, honestly. And so
Yep.
I like put the link up in my bio, and then I posted one of my modeling photos. And I was like, okay, if people want to find or like go searching, they will.
Yeah,
And they
they'll
did.
find it if they look. Oh,
Um,
for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
mhm.
They go down the rabbit hole a little bit and they're like, oh, what's this link? Click. And then all of a sudden,
Yes,
here we are.
exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
Well,
And
go
then,
ahead.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, all right. Well, I want you to hold the thought because we're going to bust a commercial break real quick. We're going to get some great words
Perfect.
from the sponsors who have brought this podcast and all the other Blacktop Banner podcasts to you. And when we come back, we're going to let Alex continue on her story about how that got started and how she's really done a great job building that and creating an income for herself. She's also going to talk a little bit about how the asphalt industry has helped with that and maybe what other people can expect if they decide to create content. So stick with us. Asphalt maintenance contractors. Winter's just around the corner, and we all know the harmful effects that colder months have on pavement. Here at Wiscoat, we've tried a lot of products. We keep coming back to Craftco because of their crack and joint sealers are the best in the industry. No matter the climate that you're located in, Craftco has products that will fit your needs. Find the full product lineup at craftco.com. That's CRAFCO.com. Have you seen the smoothness and compaction that Dynapack's seismic technology has recently brought to the asphalt industry? It's incredible. And Dynapack's CC900G roller may just be the best roller on the market for driveway and parking lot paving contractors. It's even better than the little yellow one that you're used to seeing. But don't take my word for it. Give the CC900G a test run yourself by visiting Dynapack.com and finding a retailer near you.
Say goodbye to potholes and roadway damage without the need for large crews, heavy equipment, or toxic chemicals. Aquafalt is the only permanent repair material for asphalt and concrete that uses water. And installation is simple. Just pour, add water, and tamp. It's that easy. An Aquafalt repair can be opened to traffic immediately and fully sealed within 24 hours. Plus, the product is backed by a 3-year warranty and is made in the USA. Visit aquafalt.com. That's AQUAPHALT.com to learn more.
I'm incredibly proud of the Blacktop Banner Edition seal coating unit produced in partnership with KM International and available now in both the 550 and 700 gallon versions. Custom built on the same frame as their bulletproof hot boxes, I work closely with KM to design what I believe is the best seal coating unit on the market. A unit designed by a contractor for contractors. See the entire walkthrough of the unit on Blacktop Banner's YouTube channel or visit kminternational.com to learn more and place your order. Since its inception, Dubuque Asphalt Maintenance has branded our trucks with the 1-800-BLACKTOP number from the 800 Paving Network and consistently seen increases in leads and jobs completed. I know the 800 Pavement Network can do the same for your business. Visit 1-800-PAVEMENT.com and get set up with your custom phone number today. All right, so we're back, and we have Alex, the Blacktopping Blondie, who is still with us. And she was kind of explaining us a little bit about her second venture and whatnot outside of the asphalt industry, but yet still based within the asphalt industry. Alex, you told us a little bit about how you got started in that and kind of the trajectory of it. Once you realized there was a grasp there, what was the next move?
The next move was, gosh, I don't know, just finding the balance. The layoff was coming. So that was the first thing. I had started it the end of October, and I gave myself that month before layoffs in Minnesota would get laid off the day before Thanksgiving. And so I was like, okay, if this works, I'll do the OnlyFans instead of unemployment, which sucks, let's be honest.
Yep.
So that was kind of the whole motivation behind it. And then I was moving back home to my mom's, and that obviously is not fun ever.
Yeah.
And then also like the motivation with it is, unfortunately, I don't want to do blacktopping forever, and I certainly am not going to have OnlyFans forever. There's definitely an expiration date on everything.
Right.
I have 1 year of college under my belt as an interior designer, and I just need to finish. And so I was like, okay, maybe, I can afford to go to college during layoff season and, have a life. So that's the motivation behind it. But yeah, it was finding the balance and doing both. When I got back to work was different. And then, come whatever, March or May,
Yep.
it was fine. However, working with certain people
Right.
that you work with in
That's true.
points of your life, it wasn't going well. So that's
Sure.
when I had decided to, obviously, working with your ex isn't going to last forever. So starting the new season, I was like, right, I'm going to do something different. I always wanted to do highway heavy paving. That was always kind of like the end goal,
Yeah.
That was like I made it with the paving game. So I kind of shoot my shot, and I know that these companies need women. My mom kind of oversees unions in Minnesota, and so she was
Okay.
like, they need women. They can't get certain funding for jobs unless there's diversity on crews, whether that's minorities or genders,
Correct.
whatever it may be. So she was like, just do it. I was like, gosh, but I don't know anybody. Like, I'm probably not going to get hired. Well, I had applied, and they hired me. And I'm sure when I went in for my interview, because I was like dressed up, my mom's like, dress up for your interview. It's an interview. You have to dress up. I'm like, but mom, I'm just going to a shop. And so I showed up, and I had like kind of wedges and like nice jeans and a nice top and like coat. It was winter, and
Right.
I was so stupid, and I felt stupid because my form was in like high vis and grease and oil, and I'm like a monkey suit, and he's probably looking at me like she's probably lost, and I'm like, no.
Right.
So I got the job, and it ended up being a blessing in disguise. I didn't really like want to get a new job. I was very comfortable as that, and comfortable, I guess, with the people I was working with, even though it wasn't ideal. But
Yeah.
I loved it. And then obviously people find out about social media and the fact that I had an OnlyFans, and it wasn't it was no thing at the new company I was working for.
Yeah.
Obviously I don't walk around like, hey, I do OnlyFans, make sure you follow me and subscribe.
Right.
No, I always catch it on the DL. I never mix
Yep.
my OnlyFans with my professional life. It's not
Yeah.
okay, especially in the world of like sexual harassment stuff. I was like, nope, we'll just
I
lay that low,
imagine
and I did.
I imagine in that aspect of it, like you said, there's no need really for you to like promote what you do outside
Mm,
of the company,
no.
but there are definitely it doesn't fall on you. Other people are taking action to search you, right, and find you, and then see
Hmm.
what you do and do whatever. Which always
Right.
throws a weird like a weird wrench in the whole machine because it just you can do whatever you want outside of the business, but yet
Right.
other people's actions sometimes have implications for you with no
Hmm.
push forth on your part. When I think about content creation, which we do a ton here, and I know you do quite a bit
Hmm.
yourself, um, being a creator isn't easy. When you try to create content, especially content that you want to do well for different reasons, whether it's for views or whether it's for clients for us or whether it's for you to get subscriptions or whatever it would be, it's not easy. So actually, like this is a question like from us to you is, do you create content strategy and do you analyze which ones do well and then try to replicate that? Does that play into the OnlyFans and content creation there?
This is actually a really good question. And a lot of people ask me, like, how do I build my Instagram? Like, how do you get to like the followers you have? I'm like, honestly, I have no idea. Like, Instagram was, I don't get paid from Instagram. Like, Instagram was nothing I ever was like working on or, putting the effort into. Like, it just kind of happened last summer. Truly, I remember I had like 10,000 followers. And I remember when I hit the 10,000 follower mark, I was actually landing in Maui and I opened up my Instagram and I or not 10,000, 100,000 followers. And I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Oh,
Like,
dang, this is taking
I don't
off.
know how I got here, what I did, but like, I guess I have an Instagram. And as terms of posts, no, I don't. I just have always just posted.
Yeah.
Very minimal effort goes into like my Instagram. And obviously with like some recent posts, people don't like what I post, and that's fine. But I
Whatever.
keep my pages, like I have a separate page for like my OnlyFans promotion stuff, like
Yeah.
modeling pictures, and I keep my pages very separated. Like I said in the beginning, like I
Yep.
don't like seeing the OnlyFans stuff. I don't like seeing link in my bio. I don't like girls do what's called like share for shares, where like you share me, I'll share you on my
Yep.
story. I don't like seeing that. That's not my thing. The people that are following me don't want to see that either. And if they
Right.
want to, they will find it.
Right.
I try to
Right.
keep that stuff very, very separate out of respect for people that
What
are following me. Like I
what
don't like seeing it, and I do OnlyFans.
Yeah, and I don't think any of us really do, right? Like most of
No,
the time, if you're following a profile, you don't want to see links to another profile or, you
no,
know, you're following that because of a brand and the content that they create, right?
right.
So to mix it together, yeah, makes it jumbled. The To flip
Mhm.
that, what about on the OnlyFans side? Because you have to create content there. Is there strategy into that? Do you see what posts do really well or what content you put out there, and then strategize around that as well? Which ones do better? Which ones do worse? Or is it just post it and we'll see what
Not
happens?
really. I did an OnlyFans actually on my or survey on my OnlyFans because I had a week long photo shoot with a photographer. Who's like, I want to shoot you. I was like, I'm not a model. I'm construction worker. Okay, I roll around in the grease and the oil. It's like I'm
Right.
not a model, but he drove all the way up from Boston to Minnesota to shoot me for a week this winter. And I was
Yep.
posting a lot of like the professional pictures, and I asked people on a poll on my OnlyFans, like, do you like professional pictures or do you like just like my regular selfie pictures? And like an overwhelming amount of people like just like my everyday selfie pictures, whether
Yeah.
it's people like the pictures of my dog mostly, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, there's not really. I just kind of post. I don't know. It's the same thing with my Instagram. It's just I
Some
don't. I have no idea. People seem to like the real life, who you are. Like I'll do lives on my OnlyFans, and it's not necessarily like I'm not doing anything crazy. I'll just be sitting there like talking, like
Yeah.
doing a
Yeah.
Q and
Yeah.
A or something, like fully clothed, and people love
Yep.
it. People just love to see the real and the raw, and that's
Yeah.
just what it is.
I think it's similar to what has made us have what level of success we've had here. It's you're just being genuine, right? You're just, hey, we're human beings, and we actually are
Right.
same as everybody else. And I think that that is more preferred versus like the professional photography, or if we highly edit professional video or whatever, it falls flat when we
Right.
post it on social. But if you have me sweating my balls off out on a driveway or a parking lot, like dead
Yes.
in the heat, everyone's like, dang, yeah, yeah. And those are the ones that seem to get the views because they're probably sweating, dying out there too. You know what I mean? So I was
Hmm.
curious about that and that transition. And thank you for being candid on that, by the way, because I'm always curious about different forms of social media. And I'm sorry to
Right.
let everybody down. I'm not going to venture into the OnlyFans segment and test that theory and whatnot on content creation there. But I'm always, yeah. Sorry guys. Sorry everybody. The thing is, you don't really know what's gonna hit, if it's gonna hit. And to be honest with you, to hear your story and your segment of it, there are people that I know that are content creators that have no strategy. They just have it. And when they had it, they
Hmm.
post and it works, and they don't avoid it. They don't go away from it, and they do really, really well. How do you think, um, but you have a unique profile, and you've used the asphalt industry in a unique way to further that career. How has that helped? Do you think it's because there was, let's be honest and let's call it what it is, a need for that type of content for the asphalt industry, for those people that consume that content to relate, or to consume, I guess, because it doesn't exist for us? We feel that here at Blacktop Banner, that we're the only people in here in this space that create content for our industry. And I feel like maybe you have that same advantage as well, specifically designing OnlyFans content for asphalt industry guys.
Right.
But there is bleed over, right? And you're not just attracting
Hmm.
blacktop industry guys to that. Do you feel like that's helped, and how?
I think what it is people just want to see the other side of me, see that like I like to get dirty at work. Okay, I don't like to get dirty at work, but it happens. But like I can work, I can do my own, I can hold my own, I can
Yeah.
do more than just blacktopping. And then like, oh, she's also a pretty face that does the stuff
Yeah.
that I'm interested in. Like, okay. I
Yeah.
assume that's, I don't know. I don't, people always ask me for advice on Instagram and OnlyFans. Like, when I had a roommate for a while, that came and lived up in Minnesota with me. The hurricane had kind of affected her pretty poorly, so she came up and hung out with me, and she wanted to start an OnlyFans, and I was like, I have no idea. You know what? Just like anything in life, what works for one person isn't going to work for somebody else.
Right.
And one of my best friends, she does only okay, my best friend. She'd be mad if I said one of my best friends.
Yeah.
She does OnlyFans too, and she and I have very different success with different things, and there
Yeah.
truly is not one thing that works for us together.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I think that's what makes it unique is you can show somebody how to do it, but you can't show them how to make it. You know what I mean? Like you can show them
right.
how to
Mm-hmm.
set it up and do whatever it is that you do. It's similar with the podcast here. We can teach people how to produce a podcast or how to make a podcast. I can't teach you how to be successful in it, right? I can set you up.
Right.
That takes a whole different, sometimes, like I said, it's the secret sauce, it's the magic, whatever you want to call it.
Right. And everyone's
Character.
gonna have their niche.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Everybody's gonna have their niche, and I think that you having that lens of like, okay, this is what I do. Why not just make that what I do, right? When we do it is where you've
Right.
had success there. Um, Weighing it out on one side or the other, which one is more lucrative for you financially?
The financial gain from OnlyFans is
Okay.
definitely there more. However, doing construction is so much more rewarding.
Oh, for sure.
Being
Okay.
a woman
Okay.
and like doing it is just so much more rewarding. However, the
Yeah.
financial gain from OnlyFans
Yeah.
is, yeah, there's more of that one for sure.
That's a good answer. I think that's that's what anybody who's watching or listening would hope the answer would be, right? Like uh
Hmm. Absolutely.
the blacktopping paving side of it is majorly fulfilling, right? And even though
Yeah.
um the more lucrative financial side would be OnlyFans. What we've found, and same thing here, is you can't really, for us to have success, we have to have them both, right? We have to enjoy what we're doing on the
Right.
asphalt side to
Absolutely.
be able to have
Hmm.
content here at Blacktop Banner, and we see that there for you. You said that people have asked you questions about starting an OnlyFans or creating content or whatever. What do you have as far as it would go for one piece of advice for anybody thinking about creating the same type of content or content in general that you create?
Just do it. You're not going to know unless you try. It was just like me jumping into construction. I didn't know unless I tried. If it works, that's awesome. If it doesn't, you can say you tried.
Yeah.
Um, just make sure your real name's not on there. That's my only advice. Don't put your real name out there.
It's too late. It's too
Or
late for me, Alex. My name is on the banner. Chris, can we not put
there
my
you
name
go.
on everything? Thanks a lot, man. No, I really appreciate that piece of advice. When we ask creators most of the time for a piece of advice, they mostly hit us with that one, and it's because of they spend so much time hesitating on whether they should do it or
Hmm.
not do it that once they do it and it goes well, they end up regretting that they hesitated to do it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
they realize, like I'm sure
Absolutely.
you realized, the more you did it, the better you got at it.
If I can
Right.
jump in and ask a question, I
Yeah, go
know
ahead, Chris.
I'm curious now that your platforms, both the Instagram and the OnlyFans, are growing. Do you have anybody that
Yes.
assists you, whether it's editing photos or posting content? Are you getting to the point where bringing someone on might help?
That's a really good question. In terms of the Instagram and the OnlyFans, it's all me. I think it will always be me. However, I have a TikTok and I've never even posted on it. I have somebody else that does it for me, another blacktopper actually, and I don't know anything about TikTok. I have the app and I think I've opened it twice. I don't know the first thing about TikTok. I personally don't look at it. I actually hate social media. I hate Instagram, I hate Facebook, I hate TikTok, I hate all of it. I hate being on my phone.
Yeah,
However, it's the way of the world right now, so I need to do it. But yeah, so I do have somebody that helps me with my TikTok because, like I said, I don't know the first thing about it, but the rest of it, it is all me. It will always be me for as long as I can let it be me. However,
yeah,
social media isn't my grand plan in life. I do want like interior design has always been my passion and my goal. So I do need to pursue that. I want to pursue that. But yeah, this everything's going to have an expiration date and run out at some point. Social
yeah,
media, I'm sure, will be around for quite a while, but I do need a backup plan. I'm not an idiot to that fact of,
yeah,
OnlyFans isn't contributing to my 401.
yeah.
I have a Roth IRA and then I have my 401s, but like OnlyFans isn't contributing to that too much. So I
Right.
do want to pursue the things I do want to pursue. This is all fun and games and I'm young and can do it, but
Yeah.
when I'm 50, I
They
don't
say make
know.
in our industry. You know this, Alex. They say make hay when sun shines, right? Like now.
Oh yeah, and we sure
Wow.
do, even if the sun's not shining.
That's right. But for us, the sun's shining while we're young and vibrant yet. So why not make some hay while we're here? We can enjoy it a little
Exactly.
bit later on.
Exactly.
If people want to find you and follow you online, Alex, where can they find Alex on Instagram and the TikTok that you don't use, and anywhere else where you'd like them to check you out?
Okay, my Instagram is Blacktopping Blondie. Any other thing besides that, or Blondie by Night is like my OnlyFans Instagram, but besides those two, it's not me. They're fake. There's a lot of those out there. It's great. TikTok, I assume it's Blacktopping Blondie.
Yep.
I don't even know where my app is for it. I think it's Blacktopping Blondie on
All right.
TikTok.
I'm sure it'll
Yep,
pop
it
up if they
is.
type
So
that up in the search
that's
bar.
that.
I'm willing to bet it's going to pop up there. Cool. Well, I encourage everybody to pop over and follow Alex. Great content. It's amazing to see what you've done with this niche and what you continue to do with it. It's very cool, and I'm thankful to have you in the industry as a content creator too, as well. So we really
Thank you.
appreciate that. Yeah, yeah, we really appreciate that. Hopefully, sometime down the line, we can have you join us again. That'd be fantastic. Um,
I would love that.
all right. Well, we really appreciate it, Alex. What we're gonna do is sign off for this podcast, and I'm really excited about this sign off because the last few I've kind of like had to divert to we kind of speak asphalt, but we totally speak
Hmm.
asphalt as Alex does as well. So for myself, Marvin here in the studio, Chris who joined on this podcast as well, and also we have Kyla in the studio. She wanted to sit in on this one as well. here at Blacktop Banter. And for Alex, the Blacktopping Blondie, we speak asphalt. Peace.
Hey there, Blacktop Banner fans. This is Hayden. I am the co-founder of Spot On Site. We're asphalt contractors ourselves. We run an asphalt paving company based out of Denver, Colorado. We know this is a game-changing app that will help you measure and mark your locations and your parking lots, document using time-stamped photos, videos, and comments, and send professional-looking reports to your customers. We have a free 14-day trial on spotonsiteapp.com.
Hey, Jessica Lombardo with Pavex, the pavement experience, and I want to invite you all to join us in San Antonio for the first ever event. It will be held January 30th through February 1st at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. We are going to have a live equipment demonstration over 2 days, 60 hours of educational programming, and a full trade show floor with over 75 manufacturers of equipment in the paving and pavement maintenance space. So please join us there, and to learn more and get yourself registered, visit www.pavexshow.com.
When it comes to asphalt tools and supplies, Liberty Supply has darn near everything you need. I actually think the owner, Sam, sleeps on a mountain of spray tips in their warehouse alongside the pour pots, hot pots, steel brooms, chalk lines, flagging tape, and hundreds of other items. If you call Sam today at 800-397-9907 or visit libertysupply.biz, they'll get you set up with everything you need. For custom and multi-piece stencils, I always turn to Stencil Plus. They've supplied every stencil we use, and these things last a long time. Actually, I should probably call Jeff over at Stencil Plus and just say hi, because it's been a long time since I've had to place an order. Anyway, if you want long-lasting, high-quality stencils, head over to stencilplus.com and save 10% by using the code BB10 during checkout.